JTC is on the move.
When I first saw it, I said, you know what?
It's your boy Evo, and the JTC is on the move over here at my office, getting ready to shut it down. I'm still trying to come back down to earth from my experience this weekend at the Price Daniel Prison in Snyder, Texas, where we've been going over 2 years. What a great time we had down there with the men, encouraging and inspiring them. And this is what it's all about. So with that being said, if you've been following me, I put a post out about a week and a half ago, something like that, talking about a young lady, Miss Bianca Sansamino. This young lady is a Bible student. She's a worship leader at her church. The girl works, and she's a missionary. And I know that last year she had went over to Europe to minister the gospel of Jesus Christ in the streets, in the coffee shops, doing skits and plays, leading worship. I mean, she came back with a phenomenal story of her experience over there, and she's going back this year. And JTC is excited because we're one of the ones that's helping to sponsor her to go back down there to Berlin to impact lives for the glory of God. So I said I was going to have a conversation with her, and we had a conversation, and I believe we made it a good one. So if you want to hear the heartbeat behind the young lady and her motivation to go, her sharing her experiences on what happened when she was down there and really was impact made, check this out. I'll be right back at you. Miss Bianca Sansamino. This your boy Evo, right over here in the great city of Euless, Texas with Miss Bianca Sansamino, and JTC is on the move. Listen, we are super excited. Why are you excited, Evo? Well, let me tell you why. Today, Miss Bianca Sansamino does mission work, and she's going back over to
Europe. Berlin specifically.
Europe, Berlin this year. She went last year. So before we get into that, explain to them these awesome shirts that we got on. What is all of this?
This awesome shirt right here was to raise money for my previous missions trip over to Europe. We went to Berlin and Prague. And here I am, send me, just like in Isaiah. I think that's just kind of the perfect missionary statement. God is, just saying, look at all this. I'm handing this over. Who's going to take it? Here I am, send me.
How are you now going? Somebody may go once and be like, okay, I did it. Check it off my bucket list. But you are going back. Tell the people, why are you going back? What is it about?
I have to. I felt like when we were leaving, I wasn't finished. I was like, I'm going to be back here. And so the missions organization we worked with actually personally invited me back for an internship program that they have over there. It's an intense program for a month where you're training in Berlin. Berlin's a very dark place, very oppressed, a lot of homeless, a lot of prostitution, a lot of refugees. So I had the awesome opportunity to even speak with Muslims, and just with all of that, and just especially because I love the arts and worship and singing, they like to use that dramas in their street evangelism. And so I'll be getting training in all of that again, as well as just being the hands and feet over there. I just felt like I was not finished.
Well, what kind of impact did it have on you, just your outlook on life, from going over there and coming back here to the United States, how did that change? It had to change your psyche a little bit, or how you see life just in general.
Yeah. Well, when you go to another country, first of all, you realize how blessed you are to be where you are at. Like, we have problems over here for sure, but you just realize, like, the women over there don't even have rights. We worked with a lot of women who can't, have their children because men have higher superiority to women, and so they were depressed, they were oppressed, they were just going through struggles like that. So just even in the sense of where I live, I feel very blessed.
Yes.
I was excited in a sense to come back because it was a heavy load to be there for so long. So your eyes just kind of open in that sense. And then just even working with the refugees, just seeing the struggles they were going through. We went to a refugee camp, and we brought little nail polishes to paint all the women's nails, and like files, and they were so excited. Little 74-cent files from Walmart, and we gave it to them to keep, and they didn't even speak English. But it was like there was no language barrier, because that's all they knew. They were stuck in those walls. They felt like prisoners. They're being protected, but they didn't ever experience the love of Christ, and so they were just so joyful. So you just really feel blessed and honored and for being where you're at.
So you said that we who are over here, with all our struggles, still have a lot to be grateful for.
Oh, absolutely. So much.
No.
These kids had dirty. I tried my best to clean their feet. They didn't have showers. Did you have a shower? I mean, just be thankful.
Back to the basics. Shower, roof over your head, clothes on your back.
And just love. I mean, if you talk to somebody about love, they would look at you so like you were absurd. And they actually think that Christians have a mental disability because we're so different. And so over here, people might judge you like, yeah, I've dealt with some level of persecution for being Christian over here, but nothing like over there. So you could be more free here. We have more freedom here. Take advantage of it.
What kind of impact have you witnessed? So
My favorite experience was over in Prague. I have a huge heart for homeless. I've helped with homeless ministry a lot, homeless outreach. And we were doing street evangelism. After we did a drama, we attracted people in, and when we go talk to them and talk to them about Jesus. And I see this couple walking out. We were outside of a mall. I walk over to them, and they don't speak a lick of English. Of course not. You know, God won't make it easy. I was like, okay. So I was trying my best to communicate with them. Hand gestures. I was like, are you out shopping today? And they said, oh no money, homeless. Heard you, God, loud and clear. And they were still, even though there was almost no communication, they were still waiting because I was still giving them kind of attention and love. I prayed over them even though there was no English. And finally, maybe 10 minutes later, a translator came over. We ended up talking for almost an hour. And they were especially the guy, they were a couple, he was breaking down. They were Christians before that showed up that told them they can't get out of being homeless because they're cursed, because God's forgotten about them. All these lies. And I was just brought to John 9 where Jesus healed the blind man. And his disciples said, why was this man born blind? Is he being punished for his sins? And Jesus said, no, this is so the glory of God, his works can be shown through him. And that's a story I shared with him, and they were just above the moon. And so we loved on them, we prayed over them. That was the first salvation prayer I ever got to lead anyone in. And they didn't even speak English, which is so exciting. And then after that, they joined our dance mob and anything. Like, there was just a whole new joy in them. And it's not like they received a ton of money. It's not like they received a house in the moment. They received Jesus. They received salvation. And that was a moment I'll never forget in my life.
Tell somebody out there that may have a heart for mission. Good encouragement.
Well, God's put something on your heart specifically that he hasn't put on someone else's. So if you don't go, who's going to? Jesus clearly says in the Great Commission, therefore go make disciples of the nations. He's talking to all of us, because as Christians, it just means follower of Christ. It means hands and feet of Jesus. Doesn't mean you have to be called to Africa. You could be called to New York City. You could be called to California. The cities especially are very oppressed. There's a lot of drug use and homeless and just depression in general, a lot of mental illness. For me, my trip to Europe almost was impossible. I couldn't pay for my trip at all. I'm a college student. I'm a Bible student. We don't make a lot of money. I can't tell you how many times I almost quit, and not just because of money, but because of the outer tension and arguments. I almost lost relationships with people. This was probably the first time I was highly persecuted for trying to fulfill my call, and just going to certain individuals and saying, I think I'm going to quit. I don't think I can go. I'm short on money. I have this opposition against me. I'm going to lose a relationship. And if I let all of those things happen, I would not have preached over in Berlin and Prague. I would have not been able to lead worship over in Berlin and Prague. That homeless couple might not be saved right now. I wouldn't have had the experience with the refugees. I wouldn't have been able to be a part of that experience of making disciples of the nations. And then I wouldn't have even experienced another culture, which is something that I think is on everyone's bucket list. And so sure, I should have quit because everything was online. I felt like at the point losing a lot. But if I did, none of this would have happened. So go. Just go.
Go. You want something prophetic, right? Go.
Go.
One foot in front of the other. Go. Listen, Bianca, thank you so much for sharing. And we are excited to be on board with her going over to Berlin and Europe.
Yes.
It's getting ready to go down. It's your boy E. Wilson right here with Miss Bianca Sansamita, reminding you, if you're going to have a conversation,
make it a good one.
Was that incredible or what? You're talking about a girl on the move, a girl that's on fire for God, 23 years old, with a heart to want to share with the world. It's just an admirable thing. So with that being said, as she said, she's a Bible student, she works, she's a missionary, and I know firsthand all that stuff costs money. When you volunteer in the community, it's not free. It costs you, whether it's your time or the money you spend to get to where you got to go so you can then volunteer. It costs money. So I'm encouraging you to go to the link on this post. This European initiative. Her name will pop up, Miss Bianca Sansamino, and go ahead and donate $50, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, or some of you out there could just stroke the check for $3,500 just to pay for the whole trip for her, because she needs to be focused on the mission at hand. And JTC is one of the ones that's investing in this movement. This is not our first time doing something like this. We've sent Bibles over to India. We're even right now sponsoring young ladies to go to school over in Uganda with His Joy Ministries out of Snyder, Texas, and now here it is. Miss Bianca Sansamino is going on over to Europe, and we're one of the ones that's supporting her movement. We believe in what she's doing. She's going to be sending us feedback when she's there, whatever, how that works, pictures or videos or whatever, and we're excited about it. So you'll be able to see where your money is going. So I encourage you, go ahead to that link. If you don't find that link suitable, you can go to the JTC website, go to our donation page, and when you click in, just put in there "Send Me Campaign." Those monies will go to Miss Bianca Sansamino so she can go over there around the world and impact lives. With all the negativity going on around the world, it is just so refreshing to see that there's still people out here that really care. And I just want to thank the JTC supporters for backing our mission to helping us to go into the schools, into the prisons, and around the world, touching lives in a phenomenal way. So this is your boy E. Wilson right here. Don't hesitate. Go ahead and click that link. And I'm reminding you, if you're going to have a conversation, you'll be touching lives over in Europe. Make it a good one. I'm out.
I said, you know what? I am so impressed.
When you hear the